Okay, so once again, good morning, good day, good evening, good afternoon. So welcome back to our discussion under the subject theories of crime causation. And today we will be discussing physiognomy in relation to crime causation. And the objectives of this lesson is that to enable you to paraphrase the concept of physiognomy and at least to rate the concept of human physiognomy in today's generation of criminal offenders, or meaning whether this theory of crime causation is still observable in our time. So first thing first, the origin of the word physiognomy. Well, it is taken from the ancient word or the ancient Greek word nomos. It means character. So nomos means character, and the word physis means nature. So the nature of the character. So it can be said that physiognomy is literally defined as the character of one's nature, meaning based on your nature, what is your character. And in the Middle English, by the way, when you say Middle English, we are referring to the Middle Ages, so something like 1100 to 1600, something like that, because modern English started around 17th to 18th century. So in the Middle English, they have the word physiognomy from the Anglo-French physiognomy. So when you say Anglo-French, meaning the word Anglo refers to the English people. Okay, so it's a combination of the English and the French word physiognomy from the late Latin physiognomonia, or known as physiognomia from the Greek word physiognomonia, again from physiognomion, which means judging character by the features. Okay, so you are going to determine whether a person is good or bad based on his physical feature. Okay, so that's according to the historical research made by Merriam-Webster's Dictionary, no? Na base sa itsura ng isang tao ay sasabihin mo kung ano ang karakter, ano ang katangian ng isang taong to, or ano yung ugali ng taong ito. So that is physiognomy. Well, in relation to whether a person is good or bad, well, we have some proponents of physiognomy, meaning sino yung mga nag-create ng study ng physiognomy, well, the understanding or the judging of one's character based on his natural feature. We have the mathematician Pythagoras, and he was an astronomer also and was a mathematician. And according to Encyclopedia Britannica, Pythagoras was accepting or rejecting students based on how gifted they look. Okay? So, ganun yon. Kapag gwapo or maganda ka, pag pangit ka, ay hindi ka niya kukunin na estudyante. Okay? So, pag in-apply natin ngayon class, no, in our generation, I believe na kokonti lang sa inyo ang matatanggal sa klasiko. Di ba? Kasi sa criminology, nandyan yung mga gwapo at magaganda na mga estudyante according to their parents. Okay? So, according to your parents, you are not rejected. But in my class, more or less siguro pag i-apply ko si Pythagoras, konti lang siguro ang maiiwan sa inyo. Okay? Now, we have Aristotle, the one of the most well-known philosophers of the ancient time. And Aristotle is considered as one who proposed for the earliest known systematic treatise on physiognomy. Okay, so one of the first earliest known systematic treatise on physiognomy can be attributed to Aristotle. And he devoted 6 chapters to the consideration of the method of study. He looked on the general signs of characters, meaning ano yung pangkalahatang tsura ng tao na magsasabi whether this person is good or bad or criminal or otherwise. And the particular appearance, meaning yung sa specific na bahagi ng katawan ng tao, particular appearance. So maaring sa ilong, maaring sa mata, maaring sa bibig, no? Maaring sa cheekbones or sa tenga. So that's the idea. Okay, so una yung pangkalahatan, the general signs of characters, yung pangkalahatan na appearance ng tao. And then eventually, he talk about yung particular na appearance, characteristics of the dispositions, okay, as well as the strength and weaknesses of genius and stupidity. So yun ang sinasabi niya na makikita mo whether this man is strong or weak or otherwise or madaling lokohin, matalino or stupid. Yun ang sabi ni Aristotle. Further, Aristotle examined the characters derived from the different features and from the color, meaning whether you are black, you are white, you are red, di ba? You are brown. And also to the hair, to the body, the limbs, the gaits, and the voice of a person. Kung paano ka mahaba ang paa mo, maigsi, or paano ka maglakad, or your voice. According to Aristotle, you can judge one's character based on those things. And he says that those with thick, bulbous ends belong to persons who are insensitive. Swinish, sharp-tipped noses belong to the irascible, those that are easily provoked, like dogs. And those with rounded, large, obtuse nose to the magnanimous, the lion-like, and the slender hawk noses to the eagle-like, and so on. So, ayun, kung anong kulay ng buhok mo, anong shape ng ilong mo, gano'n, ha? So, nagkaroon na si Aristotle ng kanyang mga writings na ito daw yung magiging ugali or ugali ng taong yan. Okay? Again, those things were mentioned in the Encyclopedia Britannica. So if you would like to have further reading, you may just browse the online Encyclopedia Britannica. Okay, so further, Aristotle said that large-headed people were mean. When you say mean, ito yung mga tinatawag natin mga bully, mga makukulit. Okay, those with the small faces accordingly were steadfast. What does it mean by that? Sila yung mga tinatawag natin mga firm. Sila yung mga matuwid. Okay? And those broad faces reflected the stupidity. Yeah, parang si Simon, malawak daw yung mukha, mga stupid daw yan. Yan ang sabi ni Aristotle. And those with round faces signaled courage. Yung mga bilog daw ang mukha ay uh, tawag natin matatapang according to Aristotle. Sa akin, pag bilog ang mukha, yan ang mga matatakaw, di ba? Yan, yung mga maliit ang mukha, yung mga hindi matakaw. That's my personal opinion, ano? Okay, so we have also Giambattista della Porta. Okay, Giambattista della Porta, an Italian physician. But the English people, they do not say Giambattista della Porta, but they say John the Baptist or John Baptist Porta. Okay, so John Baptist Porta. Well, in your notes, he is stated as an Italian physician and natural philosopher. He founded the School on Human Physiognomy, which deals with the study of facial features and their relation to human behavior. And according to Porta, a thief had large lips and sharp vision. Kaya siya yung nagpasimula ng School on Human Physiognomy. Kasi doktor yan eh. Yan, okay? So, maaring base sa kanyang mga nakikita sa katawan ng tao, sa character. So, he came up with the facial features and the relation to human behavior. Kapag makapal daw ang lips mo, okay, large lips, okay, and sharp vision, ay magnanakaw ka daw, no? Yun ang sabi ni Giambattista or John Baptist de la Porta. So how did Porta describe criminal? So here's Porta's description of criminal. His widely disseminated book on the subject, De Humana Physiognomia, Okay, so meaning that is the physiognomy of the humans, was instrumental in spreading physiognomy throughout Europe. Illustrations in the book depict human and animal heads side by side, implying that people who look like particular animals have those creatures traits. So sinasabi niya na kapag may hawig ka sa isang uri ng hayop, ganun daw din yung traits mo, yung ugali mo. Yun ang sabi uh, ni Porta. Ayan, so yan yung kanya mga example. So kapag medyo kahawig mo ang baboy, para ka din daw baboy umasal, sabi niya. What else? So yan, kapag ganyan daw tsura mo, para kang donkey or kabayo, so ugaling kabayo ka rin daw. Diba? So yan, magandang sakyan mga yan. Okay, so kapag mukhang baka ka accordingly, asal baka ka rin. Yun ang findings at yun ang proposal ni Porta. Ayan, kapag may sungay, no, ano daw ang ugali mo? So marami yan, marami siyang mga halos lahat ng mga hayop sa mundo ay tinignan niya yung mga tao, may mga taong hawig sa hayop at sabi niya, if your face looks like a certain animal, then expectedly you will have that kind of characteristics of the same we call it animal. Okay? So marami yan class, no? Yan. So kapag ganyan ang tsura mo, para kang dog, para kang hayop, yan, delikado mga yan, no? Yan, kapag ikaw ay mag-asawa or kukuha ka ng gwardiya mo, security agency, yan ang ganyan kukunin mong klase ng gwardiya, yung ganyan tsura niyan kasi tatahol yan pag naggugwardya. Okay, that's according to Porta. Okay, so yan, pag ganyan daw, para kang ibon din daw, no? Okay, so malamang kumakain to ng mga palay. So Porta's findings were in correlation with the argument of the father of modern criminology, Cesar Lombroso, when he said that criminals frequently have huge jaws and strong canine teeth. Pag sinabing canine teeth, yung ngipin nila parang mga ngipin ng aso. And characteristics common to carnivorous who tear and devour meat raw. In other words, pag yung mga hayop na tinatawag natin hindi kumakain ng mga damo, no? Mga halaman, bagkos kumakain sila ng mga hayop. Kapag ganun daw ang kumakain sila ng mga laman, pag ganun daw itsura ng isang tao, ay more or less mga criminal yan. So, more or less ay tumutugma yung findings ni Porta kay Cesar Lombroso. Okay, so further, later on, uh, 2 centuries later, so mga 15 to 1600, si Porta. Here comes Johann Caspar Lavater. Okay, he was a Swiss writer and a Protestant pastor. And he tried now to revive the work of Porta. So ni-revive niya, isa itong pastor, isa itong naniniwala sa Bible. So kasi sa Bible nga ay si Satan ay describe na may sungay na pangit. So ayon din sa kanya na yung mga pangit na mga tao, sabi niya ay mag-aasal pangit. Yun ang idea ni Johann Caspar Lavater. So he published his essays on physiognomy, but he did not focus specifically on criminality. But his analysis, or Caspar Lavater's analysis of facial features associated aspects of appearance with crime and other forms of negative behavior. He was thus one of the first scholars to attempt to apply that science to the understanding of deviant behavior. By the way, ang physiognomy is considered as pseudoscience. When you say pseudoscience, parang hindi siya talagang scientific. Kasi nga, kasi hindi siya scientific dahil iba-iba yung standard. Kasi pag sinabi mong absolute science, pare-parehas yung outcome, pare-parehas yung process, pare-parehas yung outcome. Pero pag sinabi mong pseudoscience, ibig sabihin niyan ay maaring scientific siya pero hindi absolute kasi magkakaiba pa rin yung standard saka result. So something like these people, Aristotle, okay? So the Pythagoras and you have Porta, you have Lombroso and Lavater. Well, practically they are saying that people with animal look, okay, may behave like an animal also. That's according to them. However, they have different standards of judging one's character based on his feature. Yun ang ibig sabihin kaya tinatawag na pseudoscience ito. Okay, so that is Lavater. He was one of the first scholars to attempt to apply science or that physiognomy to the understanding of deviant behavior. Okay, so according to Lavater, these are the people who may, we call it, be prone to committing crimes, that according to him. Okay, so today, scholars are still studying the science of faces and how different traits, features, and expressions affects us. And sometimes we try now to say that rounded contours, meaning mga rounded ang mukha, they're attractive. Okay, because para silang bata ang itsura, parang cute, ano? And they evoke parental instincts. In other words, pag nakita tayo ng mga bata na medyo bilog-bilog mukha, parang ang cute natin tingnan kahit yung mga binata, mga dalaga na medyo round face, sabi natin ay cute. Actually, mga kwan yun, mga may sakit na obesity. On the other hand, those baby face, mga batang mukha, and people are less likely to commit premeditated crimes. So sabi natin, kanyan, mukhang bata, inosente, mukhang inosente, di ba? Okay, so parang yung kaklase nyo, mukhang inosente, mukhang anghel, yung kaklase mong babae, but actually there is a demon inside. Parang ganun yan eh. Okay, kaya malimit ang sa atin, pag maganda, magandang ugali, pag pangit, pangit ang ugali. So ganun ang ating general context. So di man tayo naniniwala pero nandun na sa ating nature na we tend to judge people based on their appearances. We always relate na pangit, pangit ang ugali, maganda, magandang ugali, gwapo, magandang ugali. Okay, maganon ang mga hindi natin tawag natin namamalayan na yun ang ating judgment actually. Only to find out later on na yung pangit na tawag natin na kaklase mo, eventually napakabait pala, parang ganon. That's why today, hindi na kagaya ng mga panahon namin that in the movies, if you watch movies, yung mga pangit sila mga kriminal, sila yung mga kontrabida. Yung mga gwapo, yun ang mga bida. But today, pag mga manunod kayo ngayon ng mga pelikula, you notice na wala nang distinction sa pagiging gwapo or maganda ng mga bida at saka kontrabida because more are believing that people that an individual's physical feature is not basically representing his inner trait or inner characteristics. Okay? So yan. So sa atin, pag nakita natin angular yung mukha, oy sabi, baka criminal yan. So mga ganung bagay no, na hindi natin namamalayan that actually we are doing it. Okay? So if we go on further, marami pang studies about physiognomy. And we are going to discuss that later on about the specific study of the heads, okay, and everything. So, in your notes, is the theory applicable in today's society? Well, not at all, because some of the suspects nowadays are now pretty and handsome. Meaning, there may be na talaga namang mukha niya, mukhang sanggano, ay talagang pati sa ugali sanggano. May maaari namang ganon, pero hindi naman lahat. Maraming mga gwapo naman din na tawag natin na talagang nagko-commit din ng crime. Okay? So marami ring hindi pinagkalooban ng magandang itsura na mababait naman ang kalooban. Then why is physiognomy then important? Eh kung ganong hindi naman pala absolute, bakit siya important? Well, it's still important because it will serve as a meaningful course for examination to make clear connections between the physical body and moral character. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Pinapag-aralan pala natin yung physiognomy upang tignan natin whether totoo nga na yung physical appearance ay may relationship sa ating moral character or baka naman tawag natin na mas may bearing ang social factors kaya nagiging kriminal ang isang tao. Or baka naman mas may bearing yung hereditary factors kaysa naman sa mukha ng tao. Kaya importante pa rin na pinag-uusapan natin, although this is no longer absolutely true sa mga criminals and non-criminals. Okay? So before we will end this lecture, a wisdom from the Word of God. In 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 13 to 14, sabi niya, "For such men are false apostles, deceitful workers, masquerading as apostles of Christ." Okay, so Saint Paul was telling to the early Christians in Corinth, sabi niya na may mga tao na kunyari sila'y nagpe-preach ng Word of God, pero ang totoo ay they are just masquerading, meaning nagmamaskara. Iba yung kanilang tawag natin, yung motive, kaya sila nagpre-preach ng gospel. Yun ang sabi ni Paul, no? Ni Saint Paul, no? Na may mga ganon na ginagamit nila yung kanilang tawag natin, yung kanilang personality para hindi sila tawag natin na mabisto na nanloloko lang. So parang ganon, okay? So halos lahat naman ng religious leaders, whether you are belonging to the Roman Catholics, to the Mormons, to the Muslims, to the born again, meron din pa namang mga fake na mga ministers na sila'y tawag natin na nagkokunwari lamang, but in reality deep inside sila nanloloko. So same thing, si Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light, no? Kaya hindi lahat ng mabubuti ay sasabihin natin na coming from God, because ang tao na hindi naniniwala sa Diyos ay tawag natin maaring magpakita siya ng magagandang gawain at ugali, but in reality ay masama siya, because in the first place he does not believe in God. Okay, so just a reminder from the Word of God, do not judge yung mga katabi nyo based on their physical features. Okay, do not judge them. And more or less, baka naman there is goodness in their heart, although hindi sila masyadong maganda ang mga itsura. Okay, so with that, again, thank you for watching, and do not forget to give your comment below and or questions, and subscribe my channel if you have not subscribed yet. Okay, so God bless you all.